Yeah, I have.
built it properly and whether it is
Build was successful. Build was
built will
successful.
be successful. The next part, artifact upload was it done properly or not?
Okay. All right.
Please share the feedback for the new QR code. I mean, there was a confusion, so we have the day 2 QR code. On the way, sir. It is getting deployed. Thank you so much.
Guys, any more questions on the players? Okay, players, editors, okay, what we covered today, all the front-end libraries as well. Okay, any questions? Because we don't want tomorrow session asking these kind of questions again, because that will be irrelevant again. Okay, don't get into the other questions coming into the different topics level. Okay, today pretty much portal we covered end to end, okay, as per the plan, front end, all the front end libraries and the portal API service.
Not all the front-end libraries, most of the front-end.
Yeah, the key libraries which is, of course, the concept is same in all the libraries, okay, that's what it is.
Idea how to check the packages.
Yeah.
Topics whatever we had published, all we have covered.
Tomorrow is a form service, which is pretty much portal UI.
One is the dashlets that are going to go for reports and all those things. The reports they have covered, but UI we will need to cover that. And then
Desktop.
desktop application.
ML is on the last day,
And
Saturday.
I think tomorrow only from second half co-create they are going.
No, Saturday. No, Saturday. Saturday first half is a ML, second half is a co-create. Okay, so if no questions, shall I ask some questions? Okay, if you guys don't ask, okay, I will ask some questions now. Anybody? Okay. Yeah. If you guys ask question, I will answer. Okay, or we will try to answer. Otherwise, we will ask some questions and you guys answer it. Okay, so the players you guys know, right? Like V1 player and PDF players and all, right? So now some players, you want to build some new capabilities, okay? Assume that because of different use cases, you will end up with some new capabilities, correct? Now, take an example of PDF player, okay? PDF player doesn't have maybe some example of...
Sir asked one awesome question. A PDF player, they want to read it.
Huh.
Or a visually...
Auto reading capability for disabled people. Okay.
This is a capacity that can be built.
Okay. Okay, now, because you guys are rolling up Diksha going forward, now they want auto read capability of the PDF player. How do you do it now? What is the solution you try to implement, or where that change should go? You guys knows now, editors, players, and portal. The change should go somewhere. Okay, auto read of PDF player, where the change should go.
So basically, we have the player right now, the one that is reading the file right now. So I guess we have to look for a library or a third-party player or other component which can do text to voice or something like that, and then see how we can incorporate that along with the existing. I mean, when the PDF player is reading that, at the same time it should also read. I mean, scan the text and then what you can say, let's say text to voice has to happen at the same time, something like that.
Yes. Where that should go? Is it should go in the editor, or a creator has to do? Okay, in the editor side also some changes required, or is it only player side required changes, or is the portal also requires some changes? That's not my question.
Oh, okay.
We can create some wrapper for existing service.
Sorry.
We can create some wrapper For existing player.
Where is that wrapper? My question is the creator has to do something for that? Or is it only player can do everything? Or is it total also requires something? Where is the change? And where do you
Play,
write the change?
It's just the imagination, so don't, it's just
Okay.
thinking aloud.
Yeah, even I can think actually. Once he is completed, once you are giving the answer, I'll also think.
Even this is something that not only for you guys, even our guys
Yeah,
also
yeah.
don't know this thing. Okay? Because that's what solutions you're guys going to implement. If you know the concept, then you can think of okay, where the change should go to enable that feature. Okay, player.
So according to me also it is player because it can be used not only by Diksha.
Because you go, solution. Like I just want to see how are thinking. That's what. Okay. Yeah. Wrapper. You're saying something about wrapper. What is the
Yeah.
wrapper? Where you got?
For the player, we can use wrapper.
For the player, within the player, you are right.
Yes.
Okay. And that, yeah, go ahead. That player changes is only specific to Diksha. Should not.
Contribute to the open community.
Good. Okay. Contribute back to the original player, whatever player is there, you can contribute back. Okay. That's the one. Okay. Yeah.
But
You were saying something.
but maybe that changes should be done in that PDF player plugin only as a fork, and then merged back to the upstream, then included with the player.
Good. There are the right things. There's nothing editor creator has to do something in the editor. Because the PDF file having a text, you have to find a plugin which will read a text and convert into voice. You can see a lot of blogs today having a audio on the top, reading that entire blog into audio. Similar kind of thing. Any audio, what is there, any text, what is there in the player, some plugin you will build it, which will read that entire text within that player, whatever is seeing it. It will just convert into audio and play. You can play it, pause, and move forward, fast, and everything will be options within the player. Yeah. Yes.
And this is where you'll explore things that are already available.
You know to write the error code. A lot of plugins available. There is open source libraries
What was
available.
it? AI for Bharat. Yeah, AI for Bharat. And Bhashini, there are APIs which will be translating for multiple languages and all. So even I am not very aware of that because it is EkStep's open source that we have. We listened when we went to Delhi bootcamp. We understood that there is an API which can be used. Just now I was talking about that actually. Anuman, yeah.
Okay. So,
And one more thing that I was thinking is, why build it as a plug in the player itself? Create it as a plugin for the player and make it as a configuration. You need it, you use it. You don't need it, don't use it. And I can push it as a plugin for the player itself. I don't have to build it in the player. I don't have to send a PR. I will create it as an NPM module and expose it. It can be used by anyone.
okay. Any other questions? Or shall I ask my second question again? If I guess? Yeah, okay. So meanwhile, you guys see the feedback if you want to feed. Okay. Yeah. So now you guys know the players, right? Okay. The players and editors. Again, talking on the player side. Now, what are the player, EPUB player? What we talk? One more feature of auto reading of the PDF. Now, this player can be used only in the Diksha, or can I use this player into some other projects as well? Whatever project that, some new project you are working on it. In that project also there is some PDF use case. Will you go and you write the PDF integration and everything, or will you use this PDF player there also? Okay.
I think we can, because it's open source and we can get it into our project, any project, not just the Diksha.
Okay. So why this player? There are a lot of PDF players available. Why you want to use this player?
So
Because PDF is there, again you are using this PDF player? PDFs. It's just like Soji was saying, the browser itself is able to render the PDF. Why you want to go to this PDF player again?
Telemetry. Telemetry details. We can capture the events that are happening in the PDF player and then send it. That events gets captured in that PDF player itself. So we can. That's why you are using that.
That's one advantage where you get, if you use this, okay, the telemetry events generating by this player. You can also capture the telemetry events, and then you can do the analysis how the user journey. Users are able to complete, the contents are dropping in between, because if you use a browser feature, you will not get all those things. Because this player having that capability, and again, the new features, what you will auto reading and everything, all those things comes by default to that project. Even though the project doesn't require, that features are coming to that. You can enable and disable those features based on configurations. If they say don't need, then you disable those things based on configuration. Pretty much is a configuration driven. The key advantage is because of configuration driven, even the project doesn't require, you can disable all those things. It is good to have a lot of features, right? Okay. Nobody says, okay, I don't want this feature, if it is good features. That's the advantage of reusing the code, not only specific to Sunbird, in any other projects, you can leverage these concepts. Good, right answer. I'm expecting that. Okay.
I just want to introduce you guys to this thing of India. Have all of you heard of India? Just want to put up the site. And these things will come to you very soon. So India stands for National Digital Education Architecture. Okay, so Diksha APIs contribute to 60% of India, which means you guys will be playing a very, 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 very big role in this. Okay, if you have not heard it, there is a full-fledged blue book that has been published by the government of India. I would urge you to actually read it, each one of you. Okay, so this is allowing the ecosystem to come and leverage Diksha APIs. Okay, so I would really want you to just, I don't know whether you can just scroll a little down. Yeah. So this talks, if you look at all of the data that is here, this is primarily Diksha data. Okay. And this was launched 3 years back? 3 years back it was launched. And when it was launched, there were almost 70 odd companies which came and showed interest in participating with Diksha. Okay, so just keep this at the back of your mind once you guys get comfortable. So a lot of the questions the reason this suddenly came to mind is a lot of the questions that Vinu asked just now, you don't have to do it. There will be somebody in the ecosystem who's willing to do it for you. But you just need to know what exactly you need to open up for them. So there's a full-fledged book, I think, where is it? Just scroll down, there must be the more about India. There must be a book where go down. There's architecture and all of those things that.
Just hold on this. This is the India architecture. Looking at these things, you will understand why Diksha has so many different building blocks,
Yes.
microservices, like learning, front-end, reference data, identities.
So when you're thinking about, Diksha, this should also come at the top of the mind, because this has been published to the rest of the country saying that, these are the various building blocks. There are about 12 odd building blocks, out of which almost 60% of the India building blocks is contributed by Diksha. Okay. Then the other building blocks will slowly start opening up. The Ministry of Education will open up the other building blocks. But in these building blocks, we are saying that, for example, contribution and curation. So you just start about a CWSN kind of a content. Maybe that might be a specific project that India will open up. Anybody in the ecosystem can actually come and participate. But you folks, as custodians of Diksha, you will actually help, guardrail this entire thing. So you will play a much bigger role than just talking about Diksha. I want you to think about that. So your scope is 10x. India becomes a very big thing for you folks. So this is a .gov.in site. This is an india.gov.in. So there's a blue book. I just wanted to open that so that they can have a look at it. Can you search for the blue book? Where is that? Maybe policies and standards.
Policy and standards. You just go there.
Yeah, all the documentation is here. Please, actually, each one of you should read this book. It's a very, very, very comprehensive book that talks about how. So when you're talking about the ecosystem, you're talking about commercial players, NGOs, state governments. Anybody can come and say, I want to participate in India. So all of this will start coming up very soon. So you just want to open up the formal report? I mean, just if you want to. Okay, you have to fine. That's okay. You have to download it. No? The annexure, the first one.
See, what is interesting is the open standards, no? We can have some time just go over it.
So probably a 100-page document. For most of us, it was pretty much by heart because we knew where we map into which building block, how it should be. Yeah, this is exactly the document. It's a national digital education architecture. So you're actually custodians of this architecture for the nation. So very soon you will find that there is talk about how to build student registry, how to build school registry. All of that is spoken about here. Federated identities, registries. Everything has been thought through extremely well in this document. So when the country starts talking about how do we bring all the schools and registries, everything is there. The details of all of that is here. Specifically about FLN. I don't know whether NEP actually launched FLN, NISTA for FLN. They launched the NCF framework for FLN. They launched the NCF framework for school education. All of you understand NCF, right? The National Curriculum Framework as a part of NEP 2020. So all of that is derived from this. So you guys are actually playing a much bigger role for the country than just maintaining a system. And I want you to take away that. It's not just about maintaining a software called Diksha. You're actually a part of the NEP 2020, you're a part of NCF, you're a part of, getting the country to participate in the ecosystem. Absolutely, absolutely. And there's a lot of pride. It's not just about responsibility. It's a huge pride, each one of you.
It's so interesting to see. We have done so many things 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That itself is,
Yeah.
kind of.
I know.
Surprising.
I keep telling all of them in the team, they can proudly sit with their grandchildren and say, I did this. And you have exactly the same opportunity. You should be able to sit with your grandchildren and say, this is my work. And you get paid corporate salary. More important.
So it's like this, sometimes we don't value what is in front of us. Right? Today, there are a lot of countries really want to take this. See, they may not name Diksha, but they want to take somebody to their countries to have this national learning platform. So you must take, each one of you to take a pride. You are doing something for a national cause, and especially around the education. It's not a joke. It's not just another project. So we happen to do a lot of projects in our life cycle, but this is something which will stand out forever, years to come. And you would have seen recently, right, DigiLocker as an integration for Diksha. For example, if you are doing a course, and that becomes like a verifiable credential, right? So how cool it is, right? Today, tomorrow, you do some courses, and somebody can verify that credential. Yes, you really did it. You don't need to carry any documents as such, right? So I hope you guys felt interesting, right? Absolutely. Okay.
Certainly learning, new and new things every day.
Again, main concept, many times we are always repeating in our sessions. What are the principles?
Externalize
and
generalize.
Okay, configurable. Okay, so always think what is coded right is externalize, generalize, and configurable. Okay, so that's what we always keep on repeating the principles. When you write the code, okay, again, start with the Diksha. Okay, don't think of the code.
Let me add one more thing. Interoperable. That is also a key principle what you need to keep that in mind, right? So, for example, I'll bring an example like when we did something on OCI. So it was very simple for me to put many things on OCI pass service, right? But judiciously we did not do that because we want to keep that interoperability intact. Tomorrow, if this particular platform has to be hosted somewhere else, there should be a provision, right? So,
No, but I have one question here. So see, what I was going through is, so if you see for Kafka, for example, then there's a service called OCI streaming, which is Kafka compatible. So you have the interoperability already built in the Oracle Cloud, right? But then we went for the Kafka VMs and that Zookeeper instances, etc. Why we didn't actually use the OCI streaming itself? With the Kafka client compatibility, it has all the Kafka client compatibility, which I was seeing there, but we haven't used it.
we can definitely use that. Okay, so those things are definitely interoperable. And see, the way we did it is like we did a lift and shift. We did not change many of the things, right? Because we want to ensure that things, the timeline is short, and we want to ensure things works, right? And if you really look at the media streams, yes, we have leveraged media streaming services.
But then again, if you see this now, there's one more service, this Spark service, right? You have a data flow service there in Oracle, which actually would have saved a lot of cost in terms of, see, because our Spark jobs do not run for the whole 24 hours, right? So if we would have leveraged the data flow on demand, it would have cost us only 1, 2 or 3 hours, right? But it's now costing that VMs, compute and storage is costing the complete 24 hours for us, 24 by 7.
Yeah, see, that's what, there are a lot of options where we can leverage. And that's why first of all, like the thought process what we had is first, people needs to get a grip of the platform, understand as is first. Then once you understand as is, then it becomes a lot more simpler to construct something to be, right? There are many things we can use. There's no end to it, right? There's no end to it. So we made it a lot more simple so that your understanding becomes seamless. For example, like we are speaking, right? Because we are speaking the common language. Nobody is speaking a CSP language here. And that's what we wanted to.
But we are getting a pushback from DIC. So the reason is they are escalating the cost on
Pause.
No, I think very valid points which
We should leverage. That's what.
If a cloud native service is compatible with the open source product and it provides an API for that, then it's better to leverage cloud native because cost wise it will come down to us.
I'm not saying, not always.
Because we have seen scenarios
It's
also.
not that true.
Ended up costly.
Yeah. You're
But
true.
the Spark point was like,
See, if you see Spark, we have leveraged a big data service there, right? BDS is being used as a pass, right? So what we did, right? Our method was simple, right? So in Azure, they are using SD inside. So we just saw, okay, what could be the equivalent of that, so that I don't want it to disturb many things at one stage. So then people get the understanding of the grip of the platform. Then you are holding that pride. You can reimagine Diksha 2.0, 5.0 the way you want, right? Keeping the principles intact. I know why you are laughing.
See, one more thing is there's always scope of improvement. Whatever you have done, Sunbird, there's nothing like, okay, it's the end. There's no next level of improvement, okay? What even today, okay, even if you are trying to improve a lot of things on CS,
The other thing is the other point which I wanted to raise, since it's an open forum, right? Yeah. Okay. So the other point which I wanted to raise is just we got to know that there's a superset, custom superset which Sunbird team had developed. But then what has been installed on the production environment is a vanilla superset. And that custom superset has some functionality which integrates with a Python script, etc.